Morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Good.
Glad to hear that.
A businessman on a personal mission.
Ich glaube, wenn ich Menschen helfe und
Helping people and seeing that they're happy is more important than any money I earn.
den ich einnehme. Und das weckt in mir das Gefühl,
And I feel like I'm doing something good.
was Tolles zu machen.
A young marketing expert fighting for others.
Von einer Seite Ehrenamt gibt mir Hoffnung.
Volunteering gives me hope, and that hope in turn motivates me to keep volunteering.
And a musician helping people find their feet.
Die Dankbarkeit,
The gratitude from migrants getting support, or just seeing their eyes light up, is encouraging. The best moments are always the ones involving people.
mit den Menschen zu tun.
3 selfless individuals making a special contribution to their community and society.
Lass mal rüber.
Rainer Rudolphi is picking up his new apprentices from Frankfurt Airport in person.
So, da müsst jetzt alle.
Addis Ababa should be there now. And it is.
Steht da.
He's been recruiting new trainees from Rwanda for years.
Das ist ja nicht das erste Mal, dass
This isn't the first time that we're picking them up. It feels like the 100th time. It hasn't been that many times yet. We now have over 60 Rwandans in Germany, and this is the last group for 2024.
Rainer Rudolphi is the director and founder of a metalworking company in Western Germany.
Hallo, guten Morgen.
Good morning. Everything okay?
Yes,
Ja, wie war
How
der
was the
Flug?
flight?
very good.
Good.
Guter Flug, ja? Okay.
It was the first time the new arrivals had been on a plane.
Jungs,
Guys,
let's make a selfie. Alle hier hinter.
over here.
Vitor?
Vitor, we got everyone?
Sind alle da?
Smile.
Alles lachend?
It's also their first time in Germany. From here, it's a 100-kilometer drive southwest of Frankfurt.
Wir fahren jetzt alle zusammen.
We're on our way to the Rima Academy.
Akademie. Dort
We'll
werden
then
wir
start the
ein
onboarding,
Onboarding
where we'll be
machen.
telling you a few things about what's
Ein paar
important.
Sachen erzählen, was wichtig ist.
Rudolphi set up his engineering firm Rema in Rockenhausen 30 years ago. The state of Rhineland-Palatinate has a decades-long partnership with Rwanda, and he started inviting young people from the country in 2016 to train for work in his plant.
Ich heiße euch herzlich willkommen.
A warm welcome to Rockenhausen. The training officially begins on Wednesday,
Am Mittwoch. Vitor
and Vitor will be your instructor.
hat schon ein paar Sachen mitgebracht.
The young men worked hard to earn this opportunity, with good grades and an intensive German language course.
Was bei uns hier wichtig ist, alle, die bisher nach Deutschland gekommen sind, alle Schüler
It's
sind
important to us that everyone who has come to Germany has done the right preparation so that everyone can say how smoothly things go with the apprenticeships.
mit den Rwandern hier vonstatten geht.
I thought here I will experience more things than to stay in Rwanda. I hope I will improve my skills.
Gibt's jetzt von eurer Seite
Do any of you have any questions?
Fragen?
Questions? No?
Keine Fragen.
The first adjustment for the new arrivals is shoes. Theirs aren't appropriate for either the weather or for working in the factory. Occupational safety requirements in Germany can be strict.
So, fangen wir einfach mal an.
Your shoe size? 42.
Und das ist der Sermann. Wir bringen unseren Verbund aus.
We're now getting safety shoes for our apprentices,
Sicherheitsschuhe, die sie bei uns hier im Werk
which they need to wear here.
bringen wir jetzt hier an den Mann. 2x42.
The apprentices will be staying here for 2.5 years, at least.
Entscheidend ist aus meiner Sicht nicht die Größe des Ziels.
What matters for me is not the size of the goal, but rather sticking with it and chasing the goal. If you don't make it in 1 year, you can make that goal in 3 or 5 years. And you can see the young Rwandans don't give up
Und dass die einfach nicht aufgeben,
because they have a vision of what they want to
vor
achieve.
Augen haben, was sie erreichen wollen.
120 kilometers further west, in Trier, a young woman helps refugees from her native Ukraine, Anhelina Leshak. She's currently helping Katerina find a job.
She got her diploma in nursing back home, and after learning German, she now wants to continue working as a nurse here, which means getting her diploma recognized. I've known her since 2022, and if she needs help, I'm happy to lend a hand.
Now 22, Anhelina Leshak came to Germany in 2021. She knows how difficult it can be for refugees to adapt.
Of course, different countries, like Germany and Ukraine, have different systems. I'd say I now understand the system here, so I'm helping others to understand it too.
One major hurdle for new arrivals is German bureaucracy. Even people born here have trouble navigating their way through the forms, applications, and official letters.
It's great having Anhelina, because I'm a naturally cautious person, and sometimes I don't understand certain expressions or questions. Having someone to support me is really reassuring.
Anhelina works for a volunteer agency created in Trier in 2001, alongside her job as project manager with a marketing firm. How does she manage to balance her professional commitments with her community work and personal life?
Time management is crucial. I can do my volunteer work outside my full-time job, in the evenings and at weekends. I coordinate everything carefully so that I'm able to do everything I do well.
Another fellow Ukrainian needs her help. Vlada used to have a photo studio in Kiev, and in Germany is still trying to make sense of the tax forms.
Being a freelance photographer, Vlada needs to submit complete financial records. Today she had questions about whether all the entries are correct. And that is a very demanding task. Sales tax.
Anhelina has been helping Vlada since she fled Ukraine for Germany, together with her daughter, in 2022.
My daughter already speaks fluent German, which we also have Anhelina to thank for, because she used to give German lessons to Ukrainian children. And now we're building a new life here.
A lot of Ukrainian women have come to Germany because of the war, and some of them to Trier. Of course, things are really difficult. From my own experience, it's a bit like leading a double life.
Further east in the state of Rhineland-Palatinate, we meet another volunteer, helping people who've come to Germany.
When a lot of refugees arrive and the local authorities can't keep up, they're full of praise. What would we ever do without all those volunteers? Then the wave subsides again. And a year on, you have to justify why you're helping these refugees who are supposedly good for nothing and are only taking advantage. What drives me in all of this is the human element and people showing their gratitude.
Bernd Frietsch used to be a musician in an orchestra and volunteers to help migrants settle in their new home.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi there, Manar.
Hello, Bernd.
How are you?
Good. And yourself?
Good. Was the lunch break enough?
Yes.
The young Syrian woman has to fill out a form for the employment agency to continue receiving student aid.
You have to declare your assets if you have half a ton of gold at home and a Maserati and a Porsche and so on.
Sure, a Porsche.
You then wouldn't get any assistance.
I always wanted to learn the language. I couldn't speak any German or English. I had to use facial expressions and gestures. I wanted to understand people, and Bernd was always so nice. So I learned German, and now we're good friends.
Manar is doing an apprenticeship at a pharmacy and is thinking about later studying pharmacology.
In my 30 years of volunteering, I've never seen anyone learn German as quickly as Manar. She studied hard at home and carried on learning even when a course ended. She might say, no big deal, but it's amazing how well she's done. Her language abilities are good enough to go to university.
And Bernd Frietsch doesn't just pitch in with paperwork. Today, he's accompanying a young girl from Afghanistan and her father to a hospital, together with a volunteer interpreter. 11-year-old Kadisha has had multiple operations on her finger following a bike accident.
We've already met. How are you doing? Can you show me your finger? Great. We talked about two major treatment options. The first one is to transplant a toe joint, and the second would involve taking a bit of pelvic bone and adding plates to stabilize it. The drawback here is that the joint would essentially be gone. Instead, you'd have one continuous bone, and the finger would be straight.
A situation where Bernd Frietsch can only offer moral support. Kadisha and her father have to make the difficult decision. They opt to have the finger stabilized with pelvic bone. Bernd Frietsch talks to Kadisha and her father about the upcoming operation in the hospital cafeteria. The father used to work for the German government in Afghanistan until the Taliban returned to power. The family had to flee and are now having to start over again in a completely foreign world.
We've often gotten help from Mr. Frisch. He organizes everything for us, including all the surgeries. I don't know what we'd do without him.
It was really important having him here, and that he drove us here and found an interpreter for us. That was really nice of him.
There are some stories that really get to you personally, and without empathy, I wouldn't be able to do this work so intensely. Some of the more extreme stories are really upsetting.
Kigali, the capital of Rwanda. Rwanda is currently enjoying an economic revival, and Rainer Rudolphi comes here regularly as part of his company's training program.
We're very happy to have this project in Rwanda. I come here often, and they call me the White Rwandan. But ultimately, actually being here on the ground is important. Because it's pointless to talk about a project, but not know what's actually happening here.
He's also once again meeting Paul Umukunzi, who heads a national vocational training institute. The two men have known each other since Rudolphi's first trip here in 2014 and have seen the benefits of the project for both countries.
The objective is to create jobs for young people and support development in Rwanda. We have so many young people looking for work, for better training, and for opportunities to study. And we need to keep supporting them.
After completing their training, the apprentices either return home or remain in Germany as much-needed skilled workers. Rudolfi also helped to set up a German school in Kigali because language skills are a key component of the training program.
Morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Good.
Glad to hear that. Perhaps the students could just briefly introduce themselves.
My name is Even Noirse, and I'm 23 years old. I'm from Rwanda and live here in Kigali. I studied mechanical engineering at college. My hobbies are swimming and singing.
Singing?
Yes.
ndagukumbura cyane nkarara nsaba Imana gacya mu gitondo nkabaza inkuru uti ya ntare yanjye yarayiciye intego.
Was mir am Herzen liegt, ist ganz klar.
Everyone here has already had an initial chance in their country, but it's great for them to get a different opportunity in Germany and use the dedication they're showing here to move forward for themselves, their families, and Rwanda. Filling the shortage of skilled workers in Germany is a bonus. It was never our aim. The project was originally about training school students and sending them back to build up industry here. But we later realized that Rwanda wasn't quite ready. So now we're trying to get them trained and working. And we'll see what the situation is in 2, 3, or 5 years.
Fellow businessmen in Germany heard about his initiative and are now themselves interested in apprentices from Rwanda.
I already have placements for some of you, but not all. And we're working on finding apprenticeships for everyone. I give you my word, and I'm going to keep it. Every single one of you will be getting a place. That's a promise.
One of his best apprentices returned to Rwanda, where he gives new applicants a crash course in German culture.
There will be a lot of changes for them. Germany has a really different culture, and you have to learn a lot. How Germans work. Germans work a lot, and punctuality is a big deal. We call Germany the land of appointments.
And Rainer Rudolfi enjoys the fruits of his efforts.
It's always heartwarming visiting the school when I come to Rwanda. It's fun to see. I love coming here. And for me, it has nothing to do with work. Quite the opposite. There are always new surprises, like a girl standing up in class and singing a song. I've been to Rwanda probably 30 times over the last 10 years. And that time is an investment that I'm really happy to make. Plus, the weather is great. And at the same time, each trip gives me valuable information to help create jobs here in Rwanda.
Back in Trier, Germany, Anhelina Leshak heads off to her next appointment. Her history of volunteer work dates back to her childhood in Ukraine, when she would join her parents as they helped out in orphanages and clothing drives.
Helping out in the community you live in is really important to me, which is why I try to do my bit with other associations and events too. It's nice when people get involved in their town or neighborhood.
Today, her fellow Ukrainians are celebrating Independence Day, marking the country's secession from the then Soviet Union in 1991. The event was organized by Anhelina, who has also co-founded 2 German-Ukrainian associations in Trier.
Thank you so much. You've saved us again.
They parade through the city to raise awareness of the people back home living through war.
Today is Ukraine's Independence Day, and it's vital that all over the world we Ukrainians commemorate and celebrate this day, and talk about our culture and our nation's fight for freedom and for peace.
Anhelina would also like to enter politics. The elections for the Migrants Advisory Board are approaching, and she's planning on running for a seat.
A warm welcome to our Independence Day celebrations.
Volunteer interpreter, advisor, and counselor, plus her regular job, she takes on a lot of work for a 22-year-old. But hopefully, not too much.
I think I'm pretty self-aware, and I often reflect on my life. And that allows me to set my boundaries and manage my time properly. It's like in a first aid course. You have to help yourself first, then others. If I have no energy, no resources, and only complain about how tough things are, I'm no help to anyone else.
Bernd Frietsch also knows about the effort involved in volunteering. But today, he's on a personal trip to Kaiserslautern to visit the studio where he used to play with the regional radio station orchestra. The former bassoonist meets up with a former colleague, the orchestra's stage manager, Christian Pfleger.
Christian.
Hi, you okay?
It's good?
Yes, it's been a while, and I want to see if the place is still standing.
The musician left his job to work full-time helping refugees 5 years before retirement age.
How long were you in the orchestra?
I started in August 1986. Were you even around then?
No, 89.
Right, a long time. It was a bit of a balancing act. I felt guilty for not practicing on my instrument as much. On the other hand, there were always urgent cases where I could have spent more time helping people in a humane, dignified way. And that conflict kept getting larger and larger. Of course, you have to sleep and eat, but all too often I catch myself sitting in front of the screen with some snack, studying emails. It's far more than a regular 40-hour working week. Definitely.
And he's far from the only one. The village of Grünstadt has a lot of volunteers helping migrants. One of them, himself, a former recipient.
I saw that Bernd wanted to help, but when you don't speak the language, just gesturing is not enough to communicate properly. I thought, I can translate from German to Arabic. At least that way I could help the others a bit.
Another example of integration at work.
When someone makes progress like Wasim, and then in turn volunteers and helps our society in general, that's the ultimate confirmation of the importance of taking in people like him.
Wasim happens to be there when a Syrian man turns up asking for some translating help.
The authorities rejected his application and want to deport him.
The man has been told to leave Germany because he first filed his application for asylum in Bulgaria.
In difficult cases like this one, we have to see if there are other mitigating circumstances in his favor, like his family being here.
A lot of migrants who get such letters are left wondering who they can turn to and who can explain their legal situation.
In extreme cases, with no help available, the wheels turn a lot faster if you're required to leave and nobody's checking whether there might still be another option. That's not the job of the authorities. The Alien Registration Office is merely enforcing that one decision. But with proper advice, you can at least see if you have any options.
In Rwanda, Rainer Rudolphi is on his way south to the city of Huye. He and Paul Umukunzi will be visiting a vocational technical college.
We also want to collaborate with the city of Huye on a project going the other way, with the focus on creating jobs in Rwanda. And those jobs can only be created if we train people here on the ground, not in Germany. And that's one of the things we'll be talking about today.
After a 3-hour drive, they arrive at the college.
How are you? How are you? Long time no see. Long time no see.
Happy to see you. So how are you?
Oh, fine. Oh. And how is going? The workshops already?
Yeah, everything is going very well.
Yeah.
With new workshops, with many students, and the campus is much growing.
How many students right now here?
Now we have around 2,000 students.
Wow, you talk about
yeah.
All of them are studying technical trades, and demand for places at the school is enormous.
When I first came here, I think there were just under 800 students. Now it's 2,300, if I understood correctly. The number is growing because of the young population here. The nationwide average is around 20. In Germany, we're approaching 50. So what's happening here is pretty remarkable.
Great weather in Rwanda? Today feels like fall in Germany. Rudolphi is impressed with the amount of money being invested in education in the country. An apprenticeship in Germany could turn many of these young people into skilled workers or future entrepreneurs, who in turn would help boost Rwanda's economy.
I can imagine it will take us about 5 years to see the first dividends. In Germany, people say that if you have a conversation today, it shows up in the company's books 1,000 days later. Now I'd even say 2,000 days later. The goal is to build up industry here. No industry, no growth, because schools alone won't do it.
The German entrepreneur fell in love with Rwanda on his first visit in 2014. For Paul Umukunzi, a stroke of luck.
Rainer has a big heart, and he genuinely wants to help. I think that's wonderful. We've been working together for over 14 years, and we're both trying to do the best for our countries.
In Trier, Anhelina Leshak stops at a weekly senior citizens gathering, as she often does when she has the time. She helped create the event herself to make older refugees from Ukraine feel less lonely. Older people often have more trouble adjusting to a new culture.
We're very grateful for Anhelina. She's young, but she understands our needs. And she really is there for us when we need help.
The ladies have been busy making some autumn decorations. Singing and eating together is always a big part of the get-togethers.
I'm so glad about the response and that people can come here and make new friends. They can speak in their own language, sing songs and do Ukrainian things, while also being part of German society and integrating together.
For many of those who fled the war, adjusting to new surroundings while keeping your homeland at heart can be a source of emotional conflict. Anhelina Leshak's support gives them stability. And her volunteer work often evolves into a friendship, as was the case with Katarina Silkina, who she recently accompanied to the job center.
Of course, we share the same homeland, Ukraine. Plus, Katarina is from Kharkiv, which is where I went to college. That's why this city is special to me. I feel an emotional connection to it.
They see new images from the war every day, including from the city where they can no longer live. When Russia invaded Ukraine in early 2022, Anhelina Leshak was already in Germany and was unable to return. She decided to help people who needed her support here.
We're in constant contact with Anhelina. We couldn't survive without her. She's our little savior. It's such a relief to know that she's always there to help us. Anhelina also taught my daughter Nicole German. We owe her so much.
There's a close link between volunteering and hope. Volunteering gives me hope, and that hope in turn motivates me to keep volunteering.
Today's volunteering has musician Bernd Frietsch in Kronstadt being a teacher's aide, helping children from migrant families with their homework. The extra lessons started just a week earlier. Among those in attendance, little Khadija from Afghanistan.
Hello. Hello, Khadija. Hello, Mr. Koschbacht.
The pelvic bone transplant for her finger went well. Khadisha's favorite subject is sports, and she's determined to keep playing on the school soccer team despite the surgery. As is the case with many refugee families, her parents can't read or write, which makes these homework sessions even more important.
Start with the 2. How much up to the next 10?
108.
Some parents think the school will take care of everything. So when our children come home, they'll have all the knowledge they need. They might not get any support at home because their parents themselves might never have gotten proper schooling.
Khadija quickly learned how to cope with her injured finger.
What made me especially happy today was seeing you write everything by yourself. Last week, you didn't even know how to hold the pen, and the teachers said it's always good to ask for help.
When I held it here with my finger on the pen, it really hurt.
Eventually, it won't hurt anymore, and then you can go back to normal. I'm glad it's working out.
Tomorrow we have PE at school, and I want to take part, but I don't think I'm allowed yet.
When I picked you up and everything still hurt, you were laughing regardless. And I realized, we've got this. And once it all heals even more, you can do everything at school, and of course enjoy doing sports again. The best moments are always the ones involving people. And over the years, some former clients have become really good friends of mine. And I benefit enormously from that in my private life as Bernd Frietsch.
In his private life, Rainer Rudolphi is a dog lover. Every morning, he takes his Australian shepherds Rico and Yoshi out for a walk.
Breakfast.
He himself has no children, although his wife has 2 sons. She's been an active support with his Rwandan apprentices program from the outset.
When you've arrived from a faraway country, all eyes are on you at first. And whoever you are, it's tough if you feel you don't fit in. That's why it's important to meet with people regularly, so they know that they belong.
Today, he's organizing a barbecue for his apprentices. His engineering business is thriving, so it's unnecessary. Why is he so passionate about helping young people from Rwanda?
I'll be turning 62 soon, and I believe it's important to give back a part of what you've been able to experience in life. That's the principle I follow. And if it's something you enjoy doing, then all the better.
What started out as a relief effort has since grown into a small non-profit that trains and finds jobs for skilled workers from Rwanda. It wasn't planned, it just grew organically. And Rudolfi has always decided which direction it should take next, despite some critical voices.
When you launch a project and it grows, you get people telling you what to do. Do this or do that. But I take a step back and prefer to go my own way and not follow someone else's ideas. Of course, I listen. But at the end of the day, you need one person at the helm. And in my project, that's me.
Rudolfi invests 10% of his company's profits into the project. His long-term vision is for the training program in Germany and the school in Kigali to help create 5,000 jobs in Rwanda. The barbecue also serves as a welcome gesture for the newcomers, underlining their employer's mantra that while work is important, community is too.
Some of them are a bit wary, which I can understand. Being new and not sure what to do. But they do know they can trust me, and I mean them no harm. And it's for their benefit. This distance isn't just a cultural one. It's just about them familiarizing themselves. And that takes time.
While a German-style barbecue might not be familiar, experience shows that the new arrivals settle in pretty quickly.
But people do thank you, and they know exactly why they're here. And as we can use them here, it's a win-win-win situation.
Back home, we eat first and then have a drink.
Helping people and seeing that they're happy is more important than any money I earn. They show their gratitude. And it gives me the feeling of doing something good.
In Grünstadt, Bernd Frietsch has problems of his own to take care of today. He's allowed nature to run wild in his garden, and now has plenty of work to do.
The three big trees back there need some serious cutting back. The neighbors are struggling to get a TV signal. Their satellite dishes are behind the trees, and the signal comes precisely from our direction. When I told some friends I'd hired professionals, they said no. I should let them take care of it, as a way of them saying thank you.
Wenn man sieht, der macht so viele für die anderen Leute auch, und dann haben wir gesagt,
considering how much he does for others, we said, this is minor, one day's work, and it's not much. And we'll do it ourselves.
Two of those friends happen to be landscape gardeners and know how to make short work of an otherwise tall order.
Arif, hold on a sec so we can grab the second electric chainsaw.
Accepting help initially felt awkward for the musician turned volunteer.
I realized these people really want to help, especially the two tacticians up in the tree. I said, okay, I don't want to offend them. I have to accept this help. And it's fun, too. If a company had done it, I wouldn't have been able to join in. And getting to play around with the saw is a new experience for me, too.
The impromptu crew includes Wasim, the former client, who himself became a volunteer.
I accidentally cut the cable. Now we have to shorten it and put it back into the plug.
That's a bit problematic. But depending on how fast Wasim fixes it, we'll end up 4 meters short.
Wasim fled Syria together with his family, finally making it to Germany after a 6-year odyssey through Europe. Once in Germany, Bernd Frietsch even managed to prevent them from being deported.
Die Hilfe, die wir benötigen, die haben wir von Bernd bekommen.
Bernd gave us the support we needed, with all the paperwork and helping to file applications correctly. He was a huge help.
The fight against xenophobia has also affected Bernd's life. The tree-cutting job turns into a garden party, with people who sought refuge in Germany now simply part of the community.
Thank you all so much. Great job. And a really great team.
A team which has certainly earned its supper.
It's been fun, and I also really appreciate all the people who've volunteered to help out.
Okay.
We've had so much help, and a saw that was too short. But with Jihad's help, we still cut it down. I didn't expect we'd get it done today.
A volunteer helper, and clients who are now friends, and are more than happy to help him. One of 3 inspiring stories, where the principle is the same: having an open ear and heart to those in need, and an experience that is rewarding on many, many levels.